Once a change request on Martus is submitted, we're now ready to review and go through the steps needed to get approval for the change request. There are 4 approval steps. There's the worksheet approver, which is typically the program director, the level 1 approver, which is the finance officer with the finance manager as the backup. The level 2 approvers in Martus are the program monitors, and then the level 3 approvers are the accountants. And that's the order it goes. As each person, when it's their turn to approve, they get emails asking them, or reminding them it's now their turn to approve during the process. On the screen for change requests, some of the things we'll be looking for are the funding sources being used are usually the same, that the amount of decrease to an expense matches the amount of an increase to expense, so that the entries balance. So we can see here that we're proposing to decrease copier lease line, and we're going to increase the building, land, vehicle, and equipment lease line by an equal amount, meaning that the net change is 0. Their budget is not growing, it is staying the same. And a lot of these decisions are made under the guidance using the accounting manual. And so on pages 24 and 25 of the accounting manual talks about those steps. So in the area where the program director is creating the budget mod, they attach supporting documentation to their proposed mod. And in case of grant contract modifications, the preparer may also have to follow modification procedures outlined by a federal agency. And if that's necessary and the pre-authorization is needed, that documentation will be included or should be included with the budget mod. Once the worksheet approver is approved, that then goes to the finance officer. The finance officer is going to review to make sure it's accurate, to make sure it's reasonable, verify that procedures for the budget mods required by any agencies are followed. If any issues exist, they'll return the budget mod by denying it, asking for any corrections to be made. An example of some of the situations or items that the finance officer is looking for is like if the funds are being moved from one line to another, when the amount being moved is below the lower of 10% of the total budget, or $10,000. The total budget is not changing, but is it meeting that condition? Or if we're creating a new line item and the amount being moved is below that same threshold of 10% of the total budget, or $10,000. Again, we're not adding to a new budget, we're just taking from an existing line to create a new line. But those are examples of what the finance officer is looking for. The program monitor is going to review these requests to make sure that they are accurate and reasonable, and that adequate documentation exists to support the requests. If any issues exist, the monitor will return the request and include any notes to the reason for correction is needed, and then that can be done and re-entered. Chief accountants reviewing for accuracy and existence of the account numbers, and verifying reasonableness of the date and the general ledger period to post to. And if any issue exists with the account numbers or posting date, just like in anyone else, they can return the form through denying it in the change request portion to return back to the original preparer to be updated for any changes that are necessary. Once those are hit back here in Martus, each person along the way has the approve or deny option, including the ability to leave a note if they need to include more context or add why the decision to deny is being used. Alright, so that's it for the budget approval process. If you have any questions, please reach out to a program monitor.